Welcome home. It's good to see you again. This is Mountain Home. I'm Jerre. Today I want to share some tips with you and a neat trick on how you can learn to play the fiddle faster. Not playing faster, but how to speed up the learning process. So firstly, before we get started, I just want to point out I've been trying to collect all the rosin dust on this bridge here, just so I can show you some cleaning methods, and I'll do that later in the week with another video. So you don't want the buildup there on the violin because that can actually eat away at the finish of the instrument. That rosin buildup there is actually acidic and it will damage the instrument. So that'll be in a future video. So I sometimes meet you guys out at jams now. I go to a lot of different music sessions, and sometimes I'll meet someone that says, "Oh, hey, I've watched your videos on the auto harp or the fiddle." So it's really awesome to meet you guys and to play music with you. And I'm hoping that I get to meet more of you. I'm always out and about doing music. So hopefully we'll get to jam with each other in the future. Now, I hear from some people that say, "Oh, I'm having a tough time learning the fiddle." And basically the hardest part about the fiddle is the intonation. Where are you supposed to put your fingers? If you take violin lessons, they'll put tape on the neck here on the fingerboard to help you visually see where you should put your fingers, but that I find that doesn't really help. And what really helped me learn to play the fiddle, I'm self-taught, I didn't take lessons. What helped me learn how to play is getting a mandolin. And the reason why this helps is because they are tuned the same way, G, D, A, E, and the finger spacings are pretty similar. So if you take a look at the fretboard here, you can see where you are supposed to put your fingers, right? So when you need to learn a fiddle tune, it all comes down to muscle memory. That is what fiddle playing is. You've got to know where to put your fingers for certain keys. The easiest keys to learn when you are learning the fiddle, I strongly recommend sticking to tunes that are either in the key of G or the key of D. G is the absolute easiest. D can be a little tricky because you would have to hit this one here, as opposed to, and it's a little bit of a stretch on the fiddle. So if you get yourself a mandolin, it's easier to learn a tune on the mandolin because you can see exactly where to put your fingers. If you look up tabs online, they'll show you where to put your fingers. And when you see people that are giving you tutorials or advice on how to play a tune on the mandolin, it's easier to say, "Oh, it's fret 2, 3, and 5. Right? But if you can see that, you understand, okay, I understand fret 2, 3, and 5. Now you can translate that over to the fiddle, and that goes to, and you will be able to translate that muscle memory from the fiddle. You can learn it on the mandolin and bring it to the fiddle. So that is my advice. That's my trick for you on learning to play the fiddle. There's so much more that goes into it, the bowing and everything, but the hardest part, the absolute hardest part, is figuring out where to put your fingers. And if you learn to play a tune on the mandolin, you will be able to translate that and play it on the fiddle. And just by taking one tune at a time, learning it on the mandolin, and then bringing it over to the fiddle, you will start to develop the muscle memory. Because putting the tape on there means you have to look at it, but that's not how you play the instrument. You don't play the instrument. You never look at where you're putting your fingers. Generally, when people are looking at their playing, they're looking at where they are bowing. So the act of placing your fingers in places is entirely muscle memory, but it's hard to develop that muscle memory if you don't know where you are supposed to put your fingers to begin with. So I hope you will try that. Grab yourself a mandolin. Be careful when you're buying cheap mandolins online because they don't come set up, and you may need someone to set it up. It's good to get a pre-owned mandolin, especially if you're not going to be like a full-time mandolin player, if you're doing this just to help you learn the fiddle. Take a look at the gap that the strings have here at the nut. If it looks very high, it's going to be very difficult, very uncomfortable to play. It means the instrument has not been set up. When the mandolin is set up, you will see that the action is quite low here and that you don't have to press very hard. If you have to press very hard and very far in order to fret these strings, it's not set up I strongly recommend making sure you get a mandolin that has already been set up, and sometimes you'll find those secondhand on Facebook Marketplace or what have you. Or maybe you go to music sessions and someone's just selling a mandolin to make the point. I recently picked up this one. I have a couple mandolins, but a friend brought this to one of the music sessions I was attending the other night, and he was just selling it. He said, "Oh, I just want to get rid of it, you know." And so I bought it off him, and it's already set up. So there's an example of keeping an eye out. So I hope you will try that trick, and I hope you'll continue your musical journey. Get out there, enjoy some music jams, and enjoy life. Go on some adventures, play some music. I'll see you.